Hello, people of YouTube. It's Brittany and her God is here on the tube and elsewhere. I'm hopping on to chit chat a little bit about the High Priestess spot in reality versus perception. The High Priestess role is the female keeper of secrets. or the mystery, and a dedicated position to personify deity. Um, I think a more new age way of seeing this is the cosmos, the universe, but there's talking involved. You're not just talking to energy, you're talking to being. So, um, interesting because, how feminine is receptive and masculine is projective. The masculine position is the Hierophant, keeper of secrets, rule maintainer, projector of rules. And whereas the feminine is kind of expected, like through history, it's kind of expected, like women are sneaky. You never tell everything. Like in Titanic, when Elder Rose was like, "A woman's heart is an ocean of secrets." Women just don't tell everything right off, but the men folk, it's a surprise. Like, oh, men folk are so simple. No. Men folk can be very complicated. That's that's not a gender thing. That's a person thing. Complicated or simple kind of existence. But anyway, the High Priestess and the Hierophant are both keepers of secrets because they are experiencers of the mystery. Um, it's not a light spot. And in quick, like, I don't know, pop culture tarot, we can kind of just be like, oh, the High Priestess is a person that probably reads tarot cards. Maybe within the context of tarot reading. But in the grand scope of things, a High Priestess could be any female of some spiritual / religious dedication to somebody. If it is a feminine being or the feminine principle for the earth. Their messages, their orientation is going to be towards the highest resonating feminine energy on the planet, or who what deified feminine is willing, open to communicate through them. And from what I've experienced, this is not like a too long of a soliloquy kind of situation. They say what they're gonna say and fling the mic down. Like that's it. That's about all, folks. Um, for me, I it's been sad. It's been sad that I I got moved to a spot where, yeah, they talk to me less often. I get messages from them less often, but it's because they're saying he got it. Like, talk to him. Even with my family, they'll say some, but mostly it's kind of like the bumpers when you're bowling. If you ever gotten a bowl with the bumpers, I'm sorry if you ain't never got to bowl with the bumpers. But where maybe at first you use the bumpers where you just throw the bowling ball against them and just use it, try to time your or coordinate your alignment so that it'll bump back and forth to actually get a strike still. But eventually, like you get to really trying to bowl straight, and the bumpers are just there, and then you take the bumpers away. They're always there. They can be pulled up, but the bumpers get put down. Yeah, they're there. But my fam just like talk to him. Why? Because he stays listening for the feminine principle, and there are many that would come for the throne and make attempts on the throne. I only really have one major person that has at any point been able to confuse. But yeah, as much as I do talk, it's just like, yeah, I gotta shoot over there. All right. Um so talking about the High Priestess spot, oh, this keeps coming up in my head about what the readings are for. I have a hard time putting myself in the mental headspace of like investigative tarot work for the sake of nosy or stirring up trouble. It's like, why? It's bad juju. That's why. It's bad juju. Similar to gossip, when you know, it's just like if you know that there's some bad talk, like there's negative commentary about somebody, don't do it unless it's a warning based on facts. I I've been in some mess and I've had some falling out on the interwebs. So this is where I'm coming from when it comes to that issue. People still do this. And I think that people feel like the gossip part or the investigative part is not too bad of a deal if your channel is mainly like it's entertainment, quote unquote. But we're feeding the vibe, putting vibes in the waters with a religious tool. Like this is not far off from people preaching hard with their Bibles out at church. First gate is that the people are inside a church. Second gate is that the Bible is being referred to. Third is that the person is a preacher, a minister that's saying the words. So if they're talking some nonsense, it's going to be received differently than any other person prattling. Is there any breaks if you're an official person, a spiritual advisor, a tarot reader that does it professionally, a priest or a priestess? Is there any time off? I mean, yes and no. If you're quote unquote not at work, the expectation should be a little different. As for your presentation, like how you preach at the table with some chicken wings in your mouth is a little different than you officially at the pulpit. But also know that you're always who you are. People will always see you as who you are. So, keeping that in mind, and this is why here's me doing some more gap bridging. that it's important that we work from where we're at, teach from what we've learned versus just passing on what's been taught. Because what's been taught, we might not live by, we might not even agree with. So if you don't agree with it, you're not going to do it. And if you repeat it, you're just, people are going to bust you out for not following, quote unquote, your guidelines. So, yeah, I'm putting that out there. Um, wow, I'm like, this is a short video, but I really feel that I've said what I came to say. That we have to be mindful of our positioning. Be aware that the priestess spot is a mystery keeper for somebody. It's like they can tell you some things, they can give you some tips, but they are an experiencer. This is not a person that's going to be an open book, even if you see an open book in front of them. It's an open book, but the words are swirling along the paper, blurring and everything. Like this is Harry Potter. This is, you're not going to be able to read the words. It's going to be some mysterious stuff. That's the position. That's the role. You gotta see somebody else, see another position in the tarot for uh, more openness. But the High Priestess is at the gate. She is the gate. And she is a she. The Hierophant is a he. We can go around and around with the confusion and changes and understanding of people's identities in this day and age, but I'm saying that the principle is she, the High Priestess. She is feminine. All right. So, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I'm sending lots of love and blessings on your journey. And I'll see you in the next one.